Red Bull gives new strict orders after Verstappen drama. Lewis gets blasted for being negative, and George makes shocking decision about his future. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Max Verstappen is currently facing a pivotal moment in his racing career as Red Bull imposes a strict order in light of a looming race ban. The reigning four-time world champion has been advised to stay composed during the Canadian Grand Prix, with just one race left before Red Bull's home event in Austria. This caution stems from Verstappen's precarious situation of being just 1 point away from a race ban due to accumulating penalty points. After a controversial clash with George Russell from Mercedes during the Spanish Grand Prix, Verstappen's tally on his FIA Super license has reached 11 points. With 12 points triggering an automatic one-race ban, Verstappen is now navigating this tense landscape with utmost care. Red Bull's senior advisor Helmut Marko emphasizes the high stakes involved. He describes a possible race ban for Verstappen as a disaster that the team is keen to avoid at all costs. The last thing Red Bull wants is to see their star driver sidelined for the upcoming 2025 Austrian Grand Prix, especially since it is set to be held at their home track. As the Canadian GP approaches, Verstappen finds himself walking a tightrope. Following the Austrian GP, 2 penalty points will be dropped from his record. This could help mitigate the risk, making it crucial for him to stay clear of any infractions over the next 2 race weekends. In a recent column on Speedweek, Marko reiterated the team's stance, stating that Verstappen must not err in the upcoming races. He mustn't do anything wrong over these race weekends, and, of course, he will be told not to do anything rash, he noted. Marko remains optimistic, asserting that it's not common for Verstappen to make mistakes in his racing, thus expecting that the potential disaster scenario will not unfold. In conclusion, Max Verstappen's focus and restraint will be key in the Canadian GP, as he teeters on the edge of a significant dilemma. One false move could mean missing the chance to race in Austria. As fans and pundits alike hold their breath, all eyes will be on Verstappen to see how he navigates this critical challenge behind the wheel. Max Verstappen faced quite a turbulent outing at the Spanish Grand Prix, according to Dr. Helmut Marko from Red Bull Racing. It was a race filled with challenges, often described as bitter pills to swallow. The situation intensified at the safety car restart, when Verstappen found himself on hard tires despite his protests. Things spiraled when he lost control on the main straight and had close encounters with both Charles Leclerc and George Russell. Marko pointed out that Verstappen was in a precarious position from the get-go. He was forced into tires he didn't want, narrowly avoiding disaster on the first lap, and was subsequently clipped by Leclerc at a staggering 300 kilometers per hour. That went completely under the radar and was very dangerous, Marko claimed, highlighting the risks drivers face during high-speed races. Naturally, the atmosphere within the Red Bull team was understandably tense. The drama didn't end there. An incident with Russell, who also isn't known as Verstappen's best friend, led to further complications. Verstappen, well versed in the regulations, believed he was not required to concede his position, but was told otherwise. This created more friction and frustration. Substantial, bitter pills to weather, indeed. Following the Grand Prix, the championship standings had shifted significantly, with Verstappen trailing Oscar Piastri by 49 points. Piastri showcased his prowess by claiming his 5th victory of the season, ramping up the competition. In light of these events, Max expressed his thoughts on the ongoing battle for the title. Despite the setbacks, he remains fixated on closing the gap. It's crucial for Red Bull to support Verstappen during this challenging phase, especially as speculation arises around a potential race ban due to accumulating penalty points after the clash with Russell. So, what does this mean moving forward? The stakes are high and the pressure is mounting. The team's next steps will be vital for Verstappen's ambitions this season and could determine the trajectory of the championship. As fans eagerly await updates, one thing is for sure: the journey to the title is anything but straightforward for the Dutch driver in 2025. Lewis Hamilton is currently facing mounting pressure following a disappointing start to his career with Ferrari. The excitement was palpable when Scuderia Ferrari secured a lucrative contract with the 7-time world champion. Fans dreamed of glory and triumphant races, But reality has not matched those high expectations. According to Dutch F1 pundit Tim Coronel, it's time to acknowledge that Lewis Hamilton has firmly taken the position of the team's number 2 driver. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the Formula One community. The announcement of Hamilton signing with Ferrari for the 2025 season caught everyone off guard, especially with the impending start of the 2024 season. This move followed a few challenging years at Mercedes. Despite Hamilton's impressive record of 7 World Drivers' Championships with the team, he found the 2022 regulatory changes to be quite challenging. He hoped that a fresh environment would provide a much-needed change of pace, but unfortunately that hasn't been the case so far. Ferrari's SF25 has proven to be a difficult car to handle. Both Hamilton and his teammate Charles Leclerc have struggled with a lack of rear-end stability. As the races progressed, only one of these drivers managed to stand on the podium, and that driver was not Hamilton. Although team principal Fred Vasseur claims both drivers are on equal footing, it raises the question, should Ferrari reconsider its internal hierarchy? On a recent episode of Racing News 365's Formula One podcast, hosts Tim Coronel and Ruud Dimmers delved into this topic. When asked if it's time for Ferrari to officially recognize Hamilton as the team's number 2 behind Leclerc, Coronel's response was a resounding yes. It's very simple. All the figures point to it, he confidently stated. The current situation showcases the complexities of competitive racing, where drivers' performances are scrutinized at every turn. As Hamilton looks to find his rhythm with Ferrari, the pressure continues to mount. The team's fans, as well as the entire racing world, watch closely, wondering if Hamilton can rise to the challenge or if he will remain in Leclerc's shadow. With the 2024 season on the horizon, the question lingers. Can Hamilton turn things around? Will Ferrari acknowledge this shift in their lineup? Only time will tell. As we dive deeper into the motorsport world, it becomes clear that Lewis Hamilton's career is facing significant challenges. Notably, a key figure, Coronel, has voiced concerns about Hamilton's performance, suggesting that he seems to be slumping a bit. Despite being a fan and recognizing Hamilton's efforts to maintain a competitive rivalry with Max Verstappen, Coronel feels Hamilton is missing the spark he once had. Fans had high hopes for a resurgence at the start of this season, especially after Hamilton's triumph at the sprint race in China. However, subsequent events, including Ferrari's disqualification during the Grand Prix, tempered these expectations. While his teammate, Charles Leclerc, has struggled with his car, he has still managed to celebrate podium finishes, whereas Hamilton is yet to find his footing. In a bold comparison, some pundits have even implied that Hamilton can't recapture the extra edge he needs in races. His struggles are becoming increasingly clear, as noted by an expert who candidly proclaimed, Hamilton just can't seem to get the extra he needs anymore. In another surprising twist, Hamilton met with the UK Prime Minister to discuss the beginning of educational initiatives that are set to make a difference. While this shows Hamilton's commitment off the track, the real question remains, can he revive his on-track performance? Emerging whispers of hope suggest that his Spanish GP troubles may not stem from his ability, but rather from the car itself, implying that perhaps the odds could soon shift in his favor. So, what lies ahead for the 7-time champion? With the 2024 season fast approaching, all eyes are on Hamilton to see if he can reclaim his status or if he will continue to battle against the encroaching shadows of his competitors. Stay tuned, as both fans and critics are eager to witness this legendary driver's next move. As always, keep up with the latest developments in Formula One by following planetf1.com for breaking news and insights. In a recent turn of events, Max Verstappen found himself at the center of a heated moment during the Spanish Grand Prix, leading to an unexpected apology from Haas driver Oliver Bearman. After the race, Bearman expressed regret, stating he was sorry if he inadvertently blocked Verstappen on the track. The incident unfolded as Verstappen was pursuing McLaren's Lando Norris for second place. Meanwhile, Bearman was locked in a fierce battle with Liam Lawson of Racing Bulls, creating a complex overlap of race dynamics. As Norris and Verstappen caught up to lap Bearman, tensions rose. Lawson made a strategic move on Bearman at turn 1, prompting Bearman to lose some control and veer off track. As the chaos unfolded, Norris sped past Lawson. It wasn't until the approach to turn 5 that both Norris and Verstappen could maneuver past Bearman. In a moment captured by cameras, Verstappen visibly showed his frustration, gesturing angrily towards Bearman. The moment drew commentary from former world champion Nico Rosberg, who seemed to defend Verstappen, yet reminded him to remain composed during such high-pressure situations on the track. Rosberg noted that in hindsight, Verstappen might reflect on the incident differently. In the post-race interviews, journalists raised questions about Verstappen's agitation. Bearman took the opportunity to address the situation, expressing confusion but also kindness in his response. He acknowledged Verstappen's displeasure, saying, "I'm not sure why the reigning champion was upset, but extended an olive branch." He went on to clarify, "I am sorry if I did anything bad to him." Bearman explained the complexities of managing such high-stakes racing scenarios, emphasizing that he never intended to impede Verstappen's progress. "It's tough to manage everything that's going on in the race," he stated, hoping to clear the air about the tense encounter. As fans look forward to the next chapter in Formula One, the anticipation builds. What awaits the teams and drivers in the upcoming races? The F1 schedule promises thrilling competitions ahead, and with each Grand Prix, stories like these only fuel the passion among fans. Bearman's honest communication and Verstappen's fiery spirit serve as a reminder of the high stakes and emotions that come with the world of motorsport. It's a sport driven by speed, strategy, and sometimes the occasional drama on track. Stay tuned for the latest updates and insights as Formula One continues to unfold in 2025. Recent events in Formula One have stirred quite a bit of controversy, especially surrounding the performance of rookie driver Oliver Bearman during the Spanish GP. Following a tense race, Bearman was handed a 10-second time penalty for leaving the track and allegedly gaining a lasting advantage over Lawson. This decision left him feeling quite frustrated. "It was a tight battle," Bearman expressed, reflecting on the incident. He felt particularly aggrieved, stating, "I feel a bit hard done by to have been given a penalty." He emphasized that he believed he was pushed off the track, an assertion that highlights the competitive nature of the race. As the race progressed, a twist arrived when Kimi Antonelli's unexpected retirement prompted a safety car deployment. Bearman seized this moment to switch to a set of soft tires, hoping for a turnaround in his fortunes. Unfortunately, the change fell flat. "I couldn't really do anything with it," he admitted, finishing the race in P17, the last of those who crossed the line at the Spanish GP. Despite possessing new softer tires towards the end, Bearman faced challenges in straight-line speed, which inhibited his ability to fight for a better position. "Honestly, I've been struggling a little bit," he shared, displaying his candid thoughts on the difficulties faced throughout the race. His rookie journey with Haas has still yielded some points as he managed to score 6 across the first 9 rounds, indicating a decent start despite the ups and downs. Meanwhile, in a separate but equally captivating storyline from the Spanish GP, reigning champion Max Verstappen found himself 49 points behind the championship leader, Oscar Piastri. With 1 penalty point standing between Verstappen and a potential 1-race ban, his team, Red Bull, is under pressure to navigate the delicate balance between racing hard and racing smart. Max faces criticism too, particularly regarding a clash with George Russell, which raised eyebrows across the paddock. The fallout from these incidents serves as a reminder of the razor-thin margins that define success in Formula One. As we track these unfolding stories, stay tuned for further updates and insights from the world of F1. Could George Russell make a surprising switch from Mercedes to Aston Martin for the 2026 Formula One season? Recent reports suggest that Aston Martin is keen to sign the talented driver, entering the conversation as a potential contender for Russell's services as his contract with Mercedes draws to a close. Russell, who joined Mercedes from Williams in 2022, is now in the final 6 months of that contract. Although there are whispers about a potential move for reigning champion Max Verstappen to Mercedes, Russell remains hopeful about extending his time with the Brackley-based team. Yet, with his contract nearing its end, the young driver is exploring alternative options as early talks for the 2026 season begin. Interestingly, despite McLaren's drivers Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri being tied down with long-term contracts, McLaren's bosses were seen engaging in a conversation with Russell during the recent Australian Grand Prix. This has sparked speculation about Russell's future and potential moves within the grid. But what about Max Verstappen? Is he in the mix as well? The prospect of Verstappen moving to Aston Martin or even replacing Russell at Mercedes has been generating buzz. Tonight, there are even reports of Russell and Red Bull's team principal Christian Horner discussing a possible deal for 2026, with Horner previously praising Russell's talents, suggesting that Red Bull is not overlooking him for their upcoming lineup. Adding more intrigue to the situation is Aston Martin's emerging status in the competition. Despite currently sitting 9th in the Constructors' Championship, the team is gearing up for a new era. They'll be forming a works partnership with Honda, the engine suppliers for Red Bull, coinciding with the forthcoming F1 regulations in 2026. What's more, Aston Martin's ambitions are bolstered by technical expertise. Adrian Newey, a renowned figure in F1, recently joined as a managing technical partner, bringing with him an impressive legacy of over 200 race wins and numerous championship titles. His presence is expected to accelerate the team's performance, hinting at a promising future. Interestingly enough, Russell has roots with Aston Martin, making his first steps in F1 with them back in 2017, where he participated in practice sessions as a test driver. 2 years later, he debuted with Williams after impressive performances in the F2 series. This history might make a return to Aston Martin a compelling option for him as he contemplates the next chapter of his career. So, as we move closer to the 2026 season, the dynamics of the driver market are shifting. George Russell's future remains uncertain, but with teams like Aston Martin expressing interest, fans and pundits alike are wondering what the next race will bring for this rising star in Formula One. As the story unfolds, keep your eyes peeled for any developments in this gripping saga. The buzz surrounding Aston Martin's interest in George Russell comes on the heels of their ambitious $300 million move for Max Verstappen earlier this season, ahead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Despite this speculation, Aston Martin has made it clear that they are dedicated to their current star drivers, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, both under contract through 2026. A spokesperson from Aston Martin expressed, "It's normal for the media to speculate on the driver market, but we have an amazing driver lineup that we are committed to. Their focus," they state, "is on delivering a more competitive car so both drivers can achieve great results." As for George Russell, the 2026 contract extension with Mercedes appears to be his top priority. The team is already making strides in preparing for the new regulations. However, reports surfaced during the Bahrain Grand Prix weekend that only one engine manufacturer is on track while the others face significant hurdles with their new power units. Mercedes has a history of dominance in F1, emerging as the leading force during the last major engine regulation changes and claiming 8 consecutive constructors' titles. Recently, Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff emphasized his aligned plans with Russell, suggesting that a new contract could be on the horizon sooner than expected. When asked if Russell would have to wait until September for a deal, Wolff assured, "Definitely not that long." He added that he and Russell are entirely clear about their future plans, affirming a solid partnership moving forward. In the world of racing, however, recent events have not been without controversy. George Russell reported damage after a collision with Max Verstappen during the Spanish GP. This incident sparked heated discussions, including Russell's remarks about Verstappen's tactics, showcasing the intense competition and rivalries in F1. Lando Norris even threw in a lighthearted joke to ease tensions following the clash, highlighting the camaraderie among drivers, even in intense moments. As these dynamics unfold among the teams and drivers, stay tuned for all the latest updates and insights into this fast-paced world of Formula One racing.